Politics and elections are stressful, but you know what's not stressful? Making delicious food and thrifting and antiquing and making a home and cuddling babies. So that's what we're gonna do in this week's video here at Hopewell Heights. Okay, I know this looks like just like a massive pile of junk here in my laundry room, and maybe it is, depending on how you feel about thrifting. But I love thrifting, so this is not junk. These are treasures that I picked up on my latest thrift haul. We went, my daughter and I and my mom and my grandma went to a little town about 45 minutes away that is specifically known to be just an amazing like antiquing and thrifting spot. Did not disappoint. I got tons of little treasures. We're gonna go through them and find homes for all these things around the house. And I actually got one gigantic treasure too. I'm so excited to show you guys. It's been so long since I have purchased a big piece on a thrift haul, and I have never spent this much on an antique piece. You know, I usually pride myself in finding steals, but when my mom and I saw this piece, like, I think if I didn't buy it, she was going to buy it. It's just that fabulous, and it was way underpriced. So even though, I'll just tell you guys, it was priced, it was $1,495, so $1,500, and I got it for $1,200. Very excited. My husband's gonna be home in a few hours. He went and picked it up for me. So my task that I'm gonna do now is try to find a home for all this stuff before the big piece gets here. Okay, first up, I got two vanity trays, like bathroom sink or vanity trays, mirrored trays here. I've been looking for one of these for a really long time. It's like legit old and vintage. And I found two, and they were both, I think they were both $9. So I got one for me and one from my daughter's bathroom. This little, like, you know, key rack envelope holder thing. I don't know what to call this. What do you call this? But you guys know what it is. Like, you put your mail in here, you hang your keys on here. I think this was like $11. A lot of the price tags, I don't know where they went, but I have a really good memory when it comes to stuff I thrift. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that this was $11, and it's in really, really good shape. So this I'm going to put in the hallway, like when you come in from our garage. Right, we're in the little hall area behind the kitchen. You all know this area with my plate rack, apron rack here, and on the other side, just, yeah, this wall. I moved some things around and put this rack that I got here on this wall for our rosaries and prayer cards. So I found that's a great spot for that. That's just perfect. I've been looking for a spot to store our rosaries and prayer cards, so that will be good. It's like a good central location in the home. This framed Last Supper piece was only $6, so it was super cheap. And this is actually something that I don't have hanging in my home yet. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I had to rescue it, I had to pick it up. I really liked the frame with the little hanger at the top here. This piece is just beautiful. I absolutely love it. I think I'm going to put it by my front door and put a candle there, you know, because like I'm just hoping that one day we'll return to an era where electricity and cars and all modern things are gone, and I can, you know, like live out my pioneer, I don't know, colonial dreams. Not really. You guys know that I don't feel that strongly about like returning to pre-technology era, but I do think it's super cool. And I do like wish that I used candles more often, but I also have 4 boys. So it's like, how, I guess just how did people not used to burn their house down if they had kids? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Like with oil lamps and candles, how did they avoid constant house fires, or like their kids like burning each other's hair off and stuff? I don't know. I just don't think I could make it work, but this was still super pretty. And in the event of the apocalypse, then I will, you know, have a very fashionable, you know, candle holder here on my wall, be prepared and ready to go. We are going to take a peek inside of my freezer here, and I'm going to show you the treasures that I got in this month's Wild Grain box. Wild Grain is the first ever Bake from Frozen sourdough subscription box. So you can get all of the benefits and delicious flavors from sourdough without the hard work and time and dedication that it takes to keep a sourdough starter. I love my sourdough starter, but sometimes it's just not practical to put the time and effort into making sourdough. Like, you all know that I've been in a crazy season ever since I've had my 5th baby of just having an autoimmune flare up to where my energy is lower than it usually is. I can't tolerate all the same foods that I usually can. And so I just haven't been working with my sourdough starter as much as I usually do. But we have been loving Wild Grain. Wild Grain partners with artisanal bakers, small bakers across the country to keep the art of baking sourdough pastas and breads and pastries alive. So every month you can personalize a box full of, sourdough deliciousness like pasta. Let's see what else I have in here. Of course, artisan loaves. They've got biscuits. They've got, ooh, I have to show you the croissants. Where are the croissants? Okay, that was a close call. I found them. I couldn't see them at first, and I thought I was gone voting this morning, and I was like, did my children and husband seriously eat the croissants without me? But they didn't. The croissants are so delicious. Let's see what else I have in here. Apple cider donuts. There is such a huge variety to choose from. When you get your Wild Grain box, just put everything straight into the freezer, and there's absolutely no prep time. So you go from frozen to ready to serve within 25 minutes. When you click my link, wildgrain.com/Hopewell, and enter code Hopewell, you will get $30 off your first order and a free item in every box for life. This is a deal that you don't want to miss out on. You all are going to love Wild Grain, so I'll put more details and my code and link in the description below the video. Just tap the more button and you'll see all the details. I got so many frames, which that is something that I usually do look for and I pick up a lot of when I'm thrifting or antiquing, because I just love vintage frames and I would much rather, hang my family photos or art that I like in a vintage frame than, something that you would just like pick up at the store. Because most of the time these days, like a lot of stuff that they sell at the store, it's just so plain and like minimalist and cheaply made. They just don't make things like they used to. So lots of pretty frames as usual. All of these frames, I mean, some of them, like these little ones. These are like $2. They're these cute little frames, which will be perfect for like a collage wall. I've got a collage wall in the nursery that I'm working on. I've been working on it for like 2 years, but that's just how I operate. You guys know that. I'm not in a hurry to get my house put together or decorated just like I want. It's a process. It's like a journey for me, and I'm just like taking the scenic route, enjoying the journey, mostly because it wouldn't be in the budget to not do it that way. So, yeah, it's expensive to go out and buy everything just the way you want it, like right when you want it. It's much better just to wait and do it a little bit at a time, especially if you can thrift. You can save money that way and get actually unique pieces. These little frames were also $2 for both of them. Just like random little pictures in there now, but I'll put something pretty in there. And so these are both old and pretty. I like them. Let's see what else I got. A couple more cute frames. So I don't know, like I said, I don't know where I'm gonna put all these, but we'll find a place. This I thought was really, really pretty. This says it was made in England. There it is. It says it's brass. Something, I don't know, like SULLO or something. I can't tell, but it's pretty, it's unique. I like it. It's brass, and yeah, I'll find a good home for this. This frame here, another unique old frame. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep that picture in there. On the back it just says #2 blue boy, made in the USA. I don't know how old this is, but oh, I got a baby awake. Let me go grab a baby. We'll finish, hold that thought. We will finish this. Okay, I've got a baby, an awake baby. So he's 7 months old now, and I'll talk to you. You'll be happier if I talk to you than the camera. Yeah. Yeah. He's 7 months old and he sleeps great at night. He has always slept great at night. Mine usually do sleep really good at night. He's not a big napper though. You know, usually at 7 months, my kids would still be taking a lot of like good naps during the day, but he just does a quick cat nap, maybe 30 minutes in the morning, maybe an hour and a half in the afternoon, and that's about it. So that's not a lot for a 7-month-old. We'll see how that goes though. You know, maybe when he gets a little bit older and he's walking, you know, in the toddler phase, he'll do a longer nap in the afternoon, because all the kids that I've had so far, they do that. Like they will take a really long 2 to 3 hour nap after lunch, which I love that, because then that's just like our quiet time in the house. Even the big kids during that afternoon quiet time, like they can go play outside, they can work on schoolwork, they can read, they can do something, but it's just quiet time. We're not, you know, running around like crazy. So I hope he follows suit when he's a little bit older and he observes the long afternoon nap time. But if not, then, you know, it is what it is. We'll just see. But this guy is so active. He is already pushing a walker all over the house. Maybe I'll see if I can get him to do it and show you guys, because it's just amazing. Okay, these two frames, another set of matching frames. I think these were $7 for both of them. So all in all, frames, I maybe spent $30 for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 frames. So I think that's pretty good. I found this piece that I really, really like. This was $9. This is a larger piece. Once again, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet, but I will find a place. I got some little trinkets for my bathroom. I showed you guys the vanity trays, the mirrored vanity trays. Well, I got just these little, I don't know, is this brass or what this is? These little canisters to put stuff in my bathroom for my bathroom sink. Because right now everything is just like sitting out. The travesty of having things just sitting out in my bathroom, I know. I thought this was cool, this little canister here. Hey, what's up?
What's the website address again?
227 Highway 50? Why? Where are you at?
Oh, this was a funny phone call. My husband was picking up the big piece that I'm getting ready to show you guys, and he couldn't find the store. So I'm trying to tell him where the store is, and he has the patience of an absolute saint, because I know he did not want to be doing this for me, and it's actually just not something I ask him to do hardly at all, because he's got so much going on between his job and the farm that asking him to go pick up something 45 minutes away, it just wouldn't be practical for our life. But this was, you know, this was a one-time thing. So I asked, and he was really patient about it, and it all worked out. You guys will get to see it in just a minute. So I found a really good home for this little candle holder here. So I'm, like I said, I'm ready for zombie apocalypse, you know, the fall of USA, Rome style, whatever it is that's coming. You know, I'm ready. I've got my beautiful antique candle holder. We took some of these frames and started on a collage in the hallway, and then moved the old pie safe that I had, which you guys saw me do that already. We moved that out of the way to make room for the new piece. And here's where I figured out that my lens on my camera was broken. I'm like trying everything to zoom it in and refocus it and do what I can to get it to work, but it wasn't working. It is in fact broken, but that's okay. We're gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure out a way to show you guys the new piece.
It's here. I'm so excited. It's absolutely beautiful. The big piece, the $1,200 piece. I'm on my little vlogging camera showing you this because as the guys were bringing the piece in, I had my big camera set up on the tripod, and the baby knocked it over and broke the lens. Well, he didn't break the lens. It broke when it fell, and it doesn't work anymore. So I'm just using my little camera, and man, like I've been doing YouTube maybe 2 years, and I've already broken like 3 lenses. I've broken my camera once, and it's because I always have little people running around or babies crawling around and the tripod gets knocked over. So that's okay. That just is what it is. But I always keep 2 cameras in case that happens. Or, you know, something happens to your camera while I'm filming a video. So there's a little update on my camera situation that nobody asked for. But I share these things because I wonder that when I see like a mom who has a YouTube channel or a podcast or a blog or something, and it seems like everything just always is so easy and it's so smooth and everything goes well. Like, I try to share that that's not the case for me. I don't know other people's situation, but for me, the way that I like run my YouTube channel, my blog, and everything is that it's very, you know, family friendly to my family and my children. It's not something that I send them away so that I can do this. They're around, and if something gets broken or they, you know, come in and ask me a question, then I just edit that out or I fix what gets broken. And that's just the boundary that I've set around my YouTube channel and blog and everything, because I just never want to shut my children out of our home. I film here in our home. It's their home too. So, there you have it. Anyway, the vlogging camera will do. So the cabinet's blurry, but let's get a clearer picture. As you guys can see, it is massive. It's 9 feet tall. Let me turn it around. There you go. Now it's clear. Okay, so this might be confusing. Like, you guys might be thinking, what am I looking at here? So our house, okay, it is like open here. We've got a loft over the living room that's all open. So it's open concept, this main level. There's living room, there is dining room, there's kitchen, okay? Over there in that doorway is the office. I designed this house so that eventually we could put a second story over all of this. We just didn't have the money to do it when we built the house. So it's kind of, to me, like, I don't know. This is not what I would have had everything look like if I would have wanted to keep this all open, but I don't want to keep it open. I eventually want a second story, and we're going to do that hopefully within the next year or 2. Put a second story on. This main level will still be like 10 feet ceilings, 10-foot ceilings. So, you know, you guys will be here through all that process because it's going to be fun. By the way, baby's talking. He hears me talking and he thinks I'm talking to him. So he says hello. All right, so here's the cabinet. The cabinet here is in the dining room on the outside of the office wall. Behind it is a barn door. That barn door is going to go. Okay, this here, this is going bye-bye. I don't like it because kids like slam it, okay? You hear that noise there? Barn doors are not good when you have kids. I just don't like it. It's gonna go, I'm gonna put French doors there. This wall is also getting wallpapered. So this wall and over onto this wall, the exterior walls of the office are going to be wallpapered. The wallpaper it's been shipped. It will be here soon, and I'm gonna make a video on that, like wallpapering, how I chose the wallpaper. But anyway, just to kind of give you the layout of like where this cabinet is. Like I said, it's massive. That's a 9-foot wall. This cabinet is 9 feet tall. It is so solid, so beautiful, as you can see. And I got it for $1,200. I mean, that's like the price of an IKEA cabinet. And this thing is just gorgeous, one of a kind. It's an 1850s piece, so made in the 50s. So let's look at it. Let's look at some of the detail here. Try to get up high. I don't know if that's like a gargoyle or a lion guy with a mustache, but it's neat. Whatever it is, it's neat. Let's look in the cabinets here. All these cabinets lock. So all of these locks work. Let me show you the key. It's actually on the floor. The baby got it. To the cabinet. All of these locks work. My cameras aren't going to stay in here. I just haven't, put stuff in these shelves yet because we're going to be moving the cabinet back away from the wall while I wallpaper and while we change that door out. And that barn door is going to go in the basement. We're finishing the basement at some point. That'll be good down there. I just don't want it up here with the little guys. So, yeah, these lock. This will be where spirits go. By that I mean alcohol. It's going to be locked up. So the drawers are in great condition. they lock as well. And this bottom cabinet locks. So, that hook, there's a little hook here. There we go. Let me open this all up and I'll show you guys. Oops, I just ran into a chair. So, there's the cabinet opened up. I mean, this thing is just in fabulous shape. Like I said, all the doors and drawers work perfectly. It's been very well taken care of. You just cannot buy pieces like this anymore. Okay, so I know I've spent a lot of time talking about this piece, but that's because I really am, passionate about antiques and decorating a home with thrift finds and antiques, because you can save so much money on quality pieces that will last. You guys, I say this all the time, especially over on Instagram, like, we are living in the dark ages. I think it's hilarious how we talk about, how much we've progressed and how we're living in this like age of technology. But look around at the quality of things that we produce these days, especially furniture. It's so telling, right? Art, furniture. I mean, everything is ugly. It's cheap. It doesn't last. It costs an arm and a leg. You can't go out and buy something like that. And even if you were to buy something that was like a solid, let's say you wanted a solid wood cabinet that was at least really, really good quality, you just couldn't find anyone to make a piece like that that's like hand carved. And if you did, you're gonna be paying at least $10,000 for a cabinet like that. So that's why I am spending so much time talking about large pieces like this, about thrifting, about antiquing. It's because it can seem so impossible these days to make a beautiful home when inflation is through the roof, and it's hard enough just to try to be a stay-at-home mom and live on one income. And then you think, well, how am I going to furnish my house? How am I going to make my house look nice? This is it, you guys. This is how I have done this. We have been throughout the 14 years we've been married. I've worked some of that time as a nurse, but anytime that I was working as a nurse, my income was going toward paying off debt on stupid purchases like cars and stuff. But we have always lived on my husband's salary, and he's a union laborer. So it's like $75,000 a year. To us, that's been more than enough. But I read things all the time where people just say like, they're making 150 grand a year and they can't live on that. And that's crazy to me. I know cost of living is different in different places. We do live in the Midwest, in a rural area where cost of living is a little bit lower, but still a lot of it just has to do with, living within your means. And so, like I said, back to my point. Now I'm going off on a tangent, but I think it is within every woman to be creative and to make a beautiful home and to make every space beautiful. Like, that's the womanly touch, right? We go into a place and a space and we make it beautiful. We make it warm and inviting and welcoming. And so having that desire, but not having the budget to do it, doesn't mean that you can't do it. You just got to get creative. So lots of ways to do that. Thrift stores, auctions. I have not been to an auction in a really long time. I haven't talked to you guys about auctions much, but this is something I used to do. And actually, the Jenny Lind baby crib that I have and I've used for all my babies, I got for $3 at an auction. Auctions, I mean, that's, if you're wanting to get the best bang for your buck and like really find steals, go to auctions. That's going to be the best way to do that. But you can still find a lot of good deals antiquing and thrifting and even Facebook Marketplace. Now, I was really big on Facebook Marketplace when it first came out like several years ago, and you could just find steals on there. So I would call my sister up all the time because I didn't want to go and pick stuff up by myself. And I'd be like, hey, I found, okay, like my bed. You guys have seen my bed, right? You can see my room back there. It's a 4-poster solid wood bed. There it is. Let's just keep walking backwards into my room as I talk. My bed was $50 back when Facebook Marketplace was like the Wild West and people just wanted to get rid of stuff. Now I feel like people have kind of figured out Facebook Marketplace and they're proud of their prices. Things can be pretty expensive on there, but it's still so much cheaper than going to a box store or a furniture store and buying a new piece of like, plastic that looks like wood or whatever. Creative homemaking on a budget. It can be done. You got to be patient. You got to get creative.
That's another thing. Be patient. So I don't go out and buy pieces just because I want to finish a space in a certain amount of time. I wait until I find the pieces that I want that are within my budget. Sometimes I do buy new pieces, but most of the time I just wait until I find just the right piece. So if there's an area in my house that looks like it doesn't fit with the aesthetic of other things, or it's ugly, it's because I'm waiting. Like, I haven't found something that I like for that area that's within my budget. And so I'm not gonna just buy something. I'm going to wait, and maybe it'll take a year or 2 years or 3 years, but it'll be worth the wait. I actually just saw recently a really, really sweet post that so inspired me from Brett Cooper. I don't know if you guys watch Brett Cooper in the comment section, but it was on Instagram, and she posted a selfie of herself standing in the mirror at an antique store, and just the memories she has of her mom painstakingly like dragging her to thrift and antique stores to decorate their home and make it beautiful, and how now that Brett is an adult, like, those are cherished memories of hers, and she totally gets it. And I'm like, oh, if only, like, I hope my daughter feels that way. Right now she feels that way. She loves going antiquing and shopping with me, and I'm teaching her about all this stuff, being thrifty and creative. And anyway, okay, I'm gonna end this tangent on thrifting, antiquing. I've shown you my thrift haul. I have shown you my prized piece from this haul. And I'm so excited to take you along as we wallpaper that wall and kind of get that whole section looking beautiful. And in the years to come, as I just continue bringing my vision to life with this farmhouse. Thank you guys for watching today. Make sure to check out the offer that Wild Grain has for Hopewell Heights subscribers. I will see you all next week.